Hello, my name is Miroslav. I come from Novi Sad. I'm near my 40s, male, Caucasian, with short brown hair, green eyes, and currently presenting from my flat because I'm in self-isolation. We have a coronavirus here in flat, so it's a good thing that we are doing this online, not in person. And I will give you a brief presentation on our Erasmus Plus project and talk about the other one we just started, the Tourism 4.0. So I will give a brief presentation on two projects. So let me just start presenting. So today I will give you a presentation on DiCultYouth project. It's a digitization and culture for new generations. And it's under the Strategic Partnership for Youth, Cooperation for Innovation and Exchange of Good Practices. It was approved on 1st November in 2018, and we got an extension of the project for 3 months, so it's due to end at 31st of January 2021. The partners are 5 countries: Cyprus, Cardet, Greece, 4 Elements, Luxembourg, Novel Group, Bosnia and Herzegovina, it's Sarajevo Meeting of Cultures, and from Serbia, it's University of Novi Sad. So one of the main objectives of DiCultYouth project is to investigate how culture and technology can work together to drive young people employability and boost the capability of cultural organizations and unleash the creative potential of technology, which will lead to better accessibility to culture and of course, develop the tourism. So we had 3 intellectual outputs in the project. The first one was really important. We lead that intellectual output. It was regarding the map the digital skills in cultural sector. It was a comparative analysis, and we had 2 target groups. It was the youth, and the other one was the employees of the cultural institutions. This was the basis for development of the second 2 intellectual outputs. It was gamifying culture, the development of the online game, which I will talk about it later in the presentation. And that will continue on the online training course, which was developed based on the mapped need or gap analysis on digital skills. So before we started the project, we did a little bit of research and found that digital competencies often pose a significant limitation, both from the side of the potential end users and also from the side of the cultural providers. 44% of the Europeans lack basic digital skills necessary for everyday life, and 37% lack digital skills for work, everyday work. As we live in digital era, it's worth mentioning that we target the youth, so 70% of them around the world are linked to the internet. And we are seeing, or we are witnessing that ICT prevalence also reshapes the understanding of the role of the cultural institutions in this digital era. So we found that there is a need to equip a growing young workforce with the skills required for the jobs of the future, and also found out that there is a need to re-equip the current workforce working in the cultural institutions in order to keep up with the changing world. So we started with a roadmap or comparative analysis, tried to measure the digital maturity level and also to grasp the digital behaviors of youth and cultural organizations. It was a 5 countries analysis, and the main output was national reports, which followed with the gap analysis and comparative analysis. I will give you just a brief description of the comparative analysis and the results, which you might find useful later in your research, or maybe give you some idea for future projects or follow-ups. So we used a mix of qualitative and quantitative methods in order to measure the digital literacy. And there were 2 target groups we identified. This was the representatives from the youth and representatives for the cultural organizations, where we conducted the self-evaluation questionnaire for employees of the organizations and conducted the interviews with the main decision makers working in those cultural institutions. So how it looked like: the first part, of course, includes socio-demographic characteristics of the respondents. The second part was related to basic computer literacy. The third part was focusing on specialized IT skills. and the fourth part was aiming at advanced digital skills. So we'll measure the basic digital skills related to basic computer literacy, specialized digital skills. This is allow you to critically evaluate technology or create content, and advanced skills mainly related to specialists in ICT professions and digital entrepreneurs. This is the sample size characteristics, and here are some of the results. So the first results on basic digital skills found out that higher level of proficiency mainly exists in using text processing software presentations, and web browsing and email, while more should be done in improving skills related to spreadsheet software and scanning image and text documents. And in general, on daily, weekly, and monthly basis, ICT devices are usually most used in countries such as Luxembourg, Greece, and Cyprus. As expected, most popular social media are Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, and they mostly use it for communication, publishing images, finding news, and networking. And also, regarding digital behavior, they put emphasis on protecting personal data and privacy, protecting devices, protecting health and well-being, and using proper grammar. Regarding the specialized skills, we found that they are mostly beginners in specialized software or don't even use it. The best situations is in case of image and graphics creation and processing, data management, as well as video and audio processing. What is expected is that they are beginners in the case of 3D rendering and 3D printing. Also, regarding to advanced digital skills, what is expected is they don't have majority of respondents don't have the advanced digital skills, and most lackage are, with the exception of virtual reality, where none of the respondents declared that they do not possess such a skill. Which is interesting in terms of preference for acquiring new digital skills. You'd prefer mostly e-learning or webinars mentoring as an emerging form of education, but also could use face-to-face training sessions and formal education. According to willingness, for example, to work in cultural sector, the highest interest is in Greece, Luxembourg, and Cyprus, moderate is in Serbia, and the lowest interest is recorded in Bosnia and Herzegovina. So I could skip this. So in the comparative study, I will not bore you with this, we give quite the recommendations based on basic digital skills, specialized digital skills, and advanced skills, which could be useful for cultural institutions. The next survey was among the cultural institutions and organizations. We got 272 valid answers from 5 countries. And what is interesting is that most of the cultural institutions in those five countries don't have a strategic approach to digital transformation. They started to conduct the digital transformation and embedded some of it in their activities. And also they are thinking about developing digital strategies. What is important is that the vast majority of cultural institutions rate digital technologies as important or essential to their core activities. Main barriers in digital transformation is lack of expert advice, IT system infrastructure, in-house staff time. But as expected, most of the dominant barriers are linked to the lack of funding to allocate to digital projects. These are the important digital skills per country. And when we conducted a gap analysis, we saw that most of the youth have equipped with basic skills, but need further development in specialized skills and advanced skills. This gave us opportunity to develop an online game, which uses, let's say, educational and informative character, linking the content to the basic digital skills, specialized and advanced. It was developed per country for 5, let's say, case scenarios in order to promote the cultural content and to develop the basic and advanced and specialized digital skills. This continued on the online training course, which is mostly developed. It will be online soon in about a month. We developed several areas: introduction to digitalization in cultural sector, cultural heritage management, and practical training in new digital technologies, which is all linked to the 3 levels of previously mentioned digital skills. And regarding the accessibility, it will be in English language, and we will also translate it into the local languages. We also started to conduct a project. It is Tourism 4.0, and it's mainly focused on innovative potential by enabling, for example, collaboration between, let's say, all stakeholders of the smart tourism ecosystems, to co-create enriched experience with the help, of course, of the key enabling technologies from the Industry 4.0. And if we talk about a smart tourism ecosystems and sustainability, one of the main pillars of that is accessibility. So we will pay a huge attention to accessibility aspects. And the last slide is regarding our team. This was the European Researchers Night. We developed content based on the cover image of the cover album, and we connected it to AC/DC Highway to Hell. So I think this is it. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you.